What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with the review show from yesterday's game that ended Nottingham Forest 1, Crystal Palace 1. A lot to talk about, lots to digest, and let's talk about yesterday's game. If you are new to my channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe to DoreOnTour, and comment below, people. How are you feeling about yesterday's game? I'm more football depressed now, so I think most of the panel and most of the people on chat are a bit peed off about it, but please get your comments in and we'll get you involved. Right, let's get the panel in. First of all, who's the oldest here? Out of Mark and Steve. Let me see the oldest person. Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. A little bit disappointed, but you move on.
Yeah, we move on. Next up, we've got I think Steve's better older than Mark, if I'm honest. We've got 80 in it. How you doing, Steve?
I look well for 80. Yeah, I'm a bit like everyone else. I'm a bit disappointed, but like you say, we got to go again. Got another one on Tuesday. I thought things were just. The main thing is we got out the relegation zone at the first attempt. So, if we're looking for positives, let's take that as a positive, and go again on Tuesday.
Next up, the man himself. Oh, it's good morning. Good morning to
Good morning.
Good morning to the man himself, David. How you doing, David?
Yeah, Ben, feeling great. I'm just happy that for once I'm actually bringing the average age down of something that I'm attending. It's so rare for me to bring the age down of anything these days, and I'm so pleased. But yeah, looking forward to the show. I'll have a few comments. That my regular subject is going to come up, and we're going to talk about him. And I'm also worried that the Sangare experiment might be over, Ben.
That's what people, as David said, there's lots to talk about. But let's start with we asked you, Steve. I saw Stephen before the game yesterday, and the lineup, Steve. When you saw it, how was you feeling? And people in the chat get involved. The topics that we were talking about as well. But Steve, when you saw the lineup, how was you feeling?
Well, I was a little bit surprised, Ben. I thought it was a bit negative to say that we're at home. I thought we were away. The way we set up. I said to you earlier, and I said to a few people, when you're at home, for me, you've got to have a Langer, if he's fit, obviously, and Callum Hudson-Odoi playing, because they give you that option. But it was for me, it was a more worrying setup, was that negative as not to lose the game, which I get that to a certain extent. You don't want to lose the game. You don't want to go 2-3-0 down. But this was a team that I think their run was just as bad as ours, was it? And we were very, very negative towards them. And I was surprised, like you, Ben, like I suppose a lot of us were. I was surprised, mate. Surprised at the lineup.
What about you, Mark? Like I said, I seen Mark as well before the game. And Mark, tell everyone in the chat, what was your prediction before the game?
Before I'd seen the lineup, I said 4-0 to Forest. Obviously, I changed my mind.
How many you had?
I'm the same as Steve. I really couldn't understand why Langer was on the bench. Nuno had talked sort of like in the lead up to the game in the week, talking about we've got to start better, get out them faster, and then when you see Langer's on the bench, you think, well, that's just not going to happen, is it? I think there were three areas for me. So that was the main one. Langer not being up front, midfield. I think quite a few people have already said Yates and Sangare just don't seem to work together. So for me, start one, use the other as a sub in the second half. I would have liked to seen Dominguez playing because he's not really had a look in for a couple of games. And I think when you take a deep dive into our midfielder stats, is probably the best stats so far this season out of our midfielders. And then your defence, I wasn't quite sure about Felipe starting for the pace reasons, really. But for me, that's the big one, the defence. Although we've got some cracking players in defence, we're just not defending as a unit. So there are three different areas for me, from defence, midfield, and attack.
David, I know what you're going to mention. We're going to mention that midfield.
I won't. I won't mention that yet, but I'll just build on Steve's comment around the team. I don't know if the setup in terms of the 4-2-3-1 necessarily surprised me. It's more just who was picked in the 4-2-3-1. Is what surprised me. The persistence with Divock Origi. He's not going to score. Like, how many times do we have to say it? And I come on this show. Like, he could still be playing and he's not going to score. So, and I just feel like we had Elanga in form, and so to not pick him on the wing, it seemed an odd choice. I had an interesting moment. I actually watched the match with my parents, who obviously don't watch very much Nottingham Forest, but watch occasionally. And so a blind person test, funnily enough, they picked out Callum Hudson-Odoi as the star player, and their other star player was Felipe, of all people. So they thought Felipe was the star. And so maybe that's because he was mentioned the most. But that was an interesting take from the maybe my mother just thought that he was really handsome.
I think he was just handsome. That's all it was. We let her off.
Certainly the set. Divock, and then we saw Sangare with Yates together last time, Ben, and we just did it again. And neither of them can seem to play a creative pass. Like the Palace goal. Did Forest ever score like that from one of our midfielders? The 6 or the 8, passing it through the guts and setting someone up? I don't think so. So, but yeah, what can you say?
Let's get into it, because, as we know, the first half was absolutely shocking, and we see. I was really criticising Sangare. I think 100% of Forest fans were not happy as well, but. Let me start with you, Steve. And people in the chat get involved. I don't cross the line with Sangare, because I've seen some comments online about him, and I think just judge him on his performance. Don't go crossing the line on anything. But Steve, let's start with you. Sangare, like him and Yates, again, you can't play with each other, can they? And that's the problem.
Yeah,
too defensive.
I totally agree. It's one or the other. I get what David's saying, get what Mark's saying, but my defense with Sangare, I think there's a good player there. Okay, he had a bad game yesterday. Was he the worst player? I mean, let's face it. Obviously, me, Mark, and you, Ben, were there. We saw Elanga come straight out warming up, and who then, out of us three, would have said we're taking Sangare off? We all thought Origi's coming off.
Yeah.
That was so weird. Like
it was all Origi was coming off. I said Origi's coming off because he did nothing in the first half, and he was half a yard too slow. He was, and I'll get on to Sangare, obviously, sorry about this. And he was playing as if he knew he was going back to Milan. All right, okay, and that's how it looked. I'm not slagging him off or anything. That's how it looked. But I just want to say something in defence to Sangare, to everyone that's saying this. Last year, Chris Wood was a £15 million donkey. He couldn't get in the Derby team. All right. Nico Williams wasn't as good as Spence. Yeah. You look at those two players now, they're brilliant. They're streets. They're probably one of the 3 that are in that team when they're fit. And I believe Sangare will become a good player. All right. Yes, he had a bad game yesterday. The question that was asked, they can't play together. I'm more dumbfounded why Dominguez is still on the bench. He's our best midfielder. Why is he on the bench? And that's my thing. I think Sangare will become a good player. I think when we stay in this league, and I will say one thing in his defence, I think AFCON has done him some damage. He's gone there when he had a great game at Newcastle, Ben. We were there. He had a great game at Newcastle. And then he went off to AFCON. He was getting the grips of the league, and he's gone off, come back, and now he's got to get it all going again. And when you're in the bottom 3, you ain't got time. You ain't got time to have any time to have a run in the game. You got to hit the ground running.
And he carried an injury anyway, didn't he, from AFCON?
Yeah.
He was in one game. He was actually stretchered off. And then he was back on the pitch within 5 minutes. But then when he came back, we learned he was, all of them were carrying injuries. And so I thought it was a bit strange. But yeah, I mean, I do rate him as a player. But just playing together. see that substitution, I would have bought Alanga on for Origi, but then I'd have bought Dominguez on for either Sangare or Yates. It could have been either way, just to balance the side up more for me personally, But then when you look at the stats, I think Sangare lost possession 13 times in that first half.
But Yates doesn't even try and play a ball though, Mark.
Yeah, I know that, but
Yates plays it backwards all the time. Like I'd have 13 from 13 passes.
When he's playing with someone different, that changes the balance. And I think that's what I rate them both as players, but not just playing together.
Well, you just say that, David. You just say that there was an incident in the second half where Yates had a ball in the second half and we broke, and all he had to do was thread it through to Alanga, and Alanga has gone. He's through, and we clear through. And he didn't hit it, and Palace intercepted it. It was a really weak pass for a midfielder. Yeah. They went straight up that end, and we were out of position. And you just thought, what you say, their ball, bang, through the middle.
Steve, I've got one for you.
Yeah.
I don't think Dominguez is our best midfielder. I think Morgan Gibbs-White is our best midfielder. And doesn't play the 10.
Okay, I'll take that one back. Okay, but I don't class.
I like Morgan Gibbs-White deeper. Yeah,
Morgan Gibbs-White.
I liked it.
I
liked it.
Wait. Let me put in, because I've done a poll as well, and this suits it as well. Who is your number 6 people? Because, like I said, we could mention Sangare and Yates don't play together. And I've said in the poll, who is your number 6? I said Yates, Sangare, or none of them. So
none of them.
So let's go for a game. So Steve, you said none of them.
Because I tell you why, and I don't know whether I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm playing Raina on Tuesday, and I'm putting Gibbs-White in that 6, just in that middle there to get it to start us moving forward.
You put yesterday in the second half.
That's what I did in the second half.
Yeah,
that's what I do too.
Wait. So who would you put number 8 then?
You're right, Ben. You're going to play either Yates, Sangare, Dominguez, or Danilo.
Danilo, yeah.
Okay, at them 4. You're going to play Gibbs-White in front of that defence. He dropped him back in front of that defence.
Yeah, second half he did.
Second half, that's what I'm saying. And he brought Raina on. And we looked a total different. Raina moved the ball quick. Got it. That's what I'm saying Tuesday night he does.
Wow.
I agree. I think that's a lay down misère. I don't think that's a surprising setup. I believe that to be the strongest lineup.
Right. So let's get the chat involved, and I'll say the panel. Who will be your 2 players as a number 6 and a number 8? Okay. So like I said, to the poll, vote as well. Who is your number 6? Yates, Sangare, or none of them? So we'll start with you then, David. Who's your 2 players in that role?
I think for the next match, for the next home match, I think the energy and also the belief that the team had when Raina was in the number 10, I'd play with Raina in the number 10 with Morgan Gibbs-White, and I'd actually pick Sangare with Morgan Gibbs-White.
Wow. Okay. Ooh, that's good. People agree with
Dominguez is good. It's close. It's between those 2.
Okay.
It's between those 2.
Steve, you're next. Who would you put that in the 2 roles? People in the chat, get involved. Who?
Well, I'm going to get absolutely slated here because I'm a big Sangare fan. So I'm gonna play him. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say, right, go on, deliver. Gibbs-White there in the deeper role. Raina for me's got to play. You've got to get Raina.
Yeah, but Steve,
you've got to get Raina.
Why have Steve and I not been on the show at the same time?
No
one ever agrees with me.
Right. You know what? I cannot wait for them to. I'm gonna backlash these 2. Mark, please don't agree with these 2. Say something different, please. Don't make it 3-1.
I'd really like to see Raina and Gibbs-White both start, and so then the question is,
Mark, you're dodging the question. Stop dodging the question, Mark.
The question is, which way round do you play them? And for me, Gibbs-White can play a more defensive role.
Yeah, but who would you put next to him?
He left back before for Forest.
Yeah, but who would you put next to Gibbs-White if he's playing that role?
I'll throw another one into the mix. So I'll put Amabamidele in defence with say someone like Felipe, and then have
Murillo in front.
Murillo playing just in front of the ball, and then Raina
Wow.
and Gibbs just in front of him, and then Alanga and Hudson-Odoi down the wings.
Wow. People in the chat, do you agree with Right, I digest what these three are just saying, because my head's going bonkers. But like I said, it's their opinion on what it is. But let me go through the chat first before we've got to say, feels like Nuno will trust defenders down. Blake clueless, 1 win in 50. He should be shot pathetic. Chris, already from New Jersey, evening lads, Forest totally underperforming. Raina, you say must play, come with new res. That's something that we are going to talk about as well. Colin, I hope you're okay. David, legend. Hi, Ben. Mark, Steve, I hope you're good one, gents. We always all good. Paddy, legend. Evening, Mr. Door and panel. Paddy Irish, evening, gents. Second half performance was much improved. Tangai was a similar oil tank turned quicker. Okay, wow. Shout out to Paddy Irish. Eve, legend. Good evening, Mr. Door, David, Mark, and Steve. Hope you're well. I'm trying to remain positive, and we will survive relegation. I'm starting to do a new joy. That's it, Grant. Eve, I'm trying to be positive as well, but I'm just, after watching this today, I'm getting a bit football depressed. As well, Ricky, I hope you're well, my friend. Excellent. God, I won't until we dominated the midfield in matches. We won't win many games. We won't. We won't. Sankara hasn't had a good run in the team. Okay, that's definitely with Steve and David on that one. Fabian, hope you're well. Good evening, all boys. Just can't get our second year. Believe is the key, and hopefully we can get there. Maybe is one of our 3 sides below. We'll suddenly start getting positive results. That's what I'm worried about, because all the results went our way yesterday, but we cannot rely on other teams as well. Katie, how you doing, Katie? And Jackson, sorry I didn't see you before the game. Sagaya may come good, but shouldn't be playing right now when games are so importantly, especially when we have good players are being benched. Yeah, I do agree with that, Katie, as well. Paul, and the people, if you want to be a member to the channel, please do. Monkey's White was so much better when he was dropped back to play deep in more touches, more time. Well, I know you pipe this guy a pipe up. What were we going to pipe? No. Monkey's White will be out muscle in the midfield.
Maybe. That's why I need someone who can
maybe.
He needs someone to go win the ball for him.
Right. So I said, people.
What's your answer to that, Ben?
I'm going to respond to it, David. Let me respond to it. Right,
sometimes you deflect though, Ben. You move us on to the next subject without answering.
Get someone to win the ball for him, pass it to Gibbs White, and just let Gibbs White pass
I'm going to answer it right. I'm going to answer it. So Paul said Yatesy and Monkey's White. I'm going to agree with Paul on this one. Before I digest on it, there's a reason behind it, Mike.
Are you saying then, Ben? Yates, and I'm not saying anything.
Let me get to it. Let me get the facts. Let me get the facts on this, okay? So, George says Marilla and Monkey's White. Yes, Marilla. No, we need him at the back. Pacey. We've got Bombadilli, who's pacey, but yeah. Mark said Dominguez and Danilo. No, that's like playing 2 number 8s together. So for me, I wouldn't do that. Right. So let me get back to the question. Right. Dave thinks I'm going to deflect it. I'm not going to deflect it. I said the reason I say Ryan Yates, I'm not saying Sangoi. I think he's going to be a good player, but he's just not playing great. I saw stats earlier on that Ryan Yates is in the top 5 of winning the ball. Right? I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen the stats?
Yeah, seen it.
Yeah. So Ryan Yates is in the top 5 of winning the ball. Second half, did he improve?
Yeah.
It didn't. David, give me another. David, what's that guy that called?
Shangari was on the pitch with him.
That's my point. And he gets slated all the time. And Yates played good in the second half.
I thought the whole team improved in the second half.
Right, think about it, right? Monkey's White dropped deep. And if you look at it, right, Ryan Yates is by himself. Just holding that midfield, right? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He didn't even have the confidence to shoot when he should have, though.
Yeah.
First off, he upset me. He should have shot. Well, that's confidence. He should have pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Especially we know with Henderson.
So I'll say Yatesy and Dominguez. Yeah? He ain't seeing Dominguez. Dominguez is more. He can get around. So
Okay.
if you agree or disagree with me, then please do.
All right,
So,
let's have another poll then.
right, okay, what's another poll then?
One thing, right? Okay, on the chat, does Raina start on Tuesday night?
Right, so that's the next subject. That's the next subject we're going to talk about because he come on and he made an impact for the goal for Marcus one. So let me ask you, Mark. Do you start Julian Raina? Yes or no on Tuesday?
Yes.
Why?
Because I think he's been playing well for his country. He had a positive impact when he came on against Palace, and we've been crying out for him to see what he can do. I mean, he's been brought here. We haven't brought him here to sit him on the bench. Surely, the big question for me has always been, how you fit him and Morgan Gibbs-White into the same starting lineup, or whether you just use one and then bring the other on as a sub. One runs their heart out for 60 minutes, then bring the other one on for the last 30. But I just really, I really think we can try and find a way of getting them both on the pitch at the same time.
What about you, Steve?
Oh, he's got to start.
Who's playing it? Would you play that 10 role then? And drop Morgan's White in the 8?
You've got. I don't know whether you noticed it, but of course you noticed it. Or you three of us were there. But when he came on, he moved the ball so quick, bang, bang, gone, and it was either right, left, back, forward. It was moving quick. Where we were a bit slow and pedestrian, and we couldn't see him because they sat deep. But you've got to play him, Ben. I'm sorry, you've got to play. You got to play him. You got to play him. Because he's a quality player, and we've got him on the bench when we need someone to unlock something. He's going to be it, and I'm sorry, I'm adamant he's got to play.
The team that ended the match actually looks the team that should start, certainly against Fulham. And so it wasn't just also
Felipe
about
there.
Well, we'll get to Felipe, but
We'll get to Felipe.
We'll come back to let's park Felipe. So
yeah.
I also see, building on Steve's point, it wasn't just what Raina did; it was also the belief that the team had in the way that the team was set up. Like clearly, Alanga through the center, for that 15-minute period where Nuno just seemed to have a brain explosion in terms of who he was putting where, and then suddenly he brought Raina on, and the team suddenly was like, "Oh, wait a minute, our manager's finally done something good," and then we're kind of set up to play. So I would have Raina at the 10. Gibbs White with one of the ball-winning midfielders, either Yates or Sangare, and Alanga, Hudson-Odoi and Wood. And then we get to the back 5 later. That's what I would set up for Fulham. And then for whether he's actually going to do that or not, my fear at the moment is that Nuno is so erratic with some of the selections.
We'll talk about him as well.
What might seem obvious to us, I don't know about you, but it just seems obvious that Morgan Gibbs-White should not kick the corners. Like, what about that one that went out for like a throw-in? Like it didn't even land in the penalty box.
Listen, man, I like Morgan White, but set pieces he needs to take off him.
Yeah.
Because was it one good set piece he did like yesterday? I think it was.
There was one.
I can't remember. One good set piece.
There was one which Henderson had to save, which he had to jump over the top of Chris Wood.
People, please do hit the like button if you can. It does me a massive help. And subscribe to the channel if you can. Right. Another topic that we talk about, and I've said to Steve, I think it was Steve and Mark before the game. Felipe. My opinion on Felipe, right, is he announced his retirement at the end of the season, and I don't think we should play him. That's my opinion of him. And so we've got some like I'm a bomb dilly. Everyone knows how I like the player, but I think we should play him. People in the chat, what's your opinion on Felipe? Do you think carrying on against Fulham, or bring like even the Cassie can't get on the bench? So before I do go, I've got a super chat. This is from Spurs. Thank you for the £4.99. Hi, Guy. Happy Easter. The team are lacking a bit of confidence, but we were a better team second half. We are lacking a bit of confidence. Like I said, regarding Ryan Yates, I love Ryan Yates, but he should have scored at least a shot.
Should have at least shot.
Yeah,
Talking
at
of
least
Special's comment there, Ben, the team are lacking a bit of confidence.
yeah,
So Felipe is a confident human being and is never going to be lacking confidence. And so while I can understand he physically doesn't have the attributes, I don't worry about him being silly and getting a second yellow card and never getting sent off. And so in terms of a player in our team who could cop a yellow card, and I'm confident they won't get themselves sent off, and I might be putting the mocker on him here, I'm confident that he won't get sent off. I don't mind Felipe. He wasn't the reason why Palace scored. And so sure he's a little bit...
It wasn't. It could have...
Really, they were daydreaming. They were
The daydreaming.
You thought they were daydreaming?
Yes, I thought that... Definitely.
Well, you thought they could have been a bit tighter.
Yeah, 100%. Because if you look at their goal, he come out at his position and the ball went his way. So that's where I sit. That's at the Trent end. So if you look at Felipe, just came out at his position and just lost it. But like
it was a cheap giveaway of the ball, though.
Wood should have done better.
It was a cheap giveaway of the ball, and they were caught quickly. It was some nice crisp passing. Like it was quickly played in.
I don't think you can just put it down to Felipe there. I think
it comes down to Felipe. It's a whole defense.
It's been a gripe of mine for a while, the way that we choose to mark when sides are coming into our half of the pitch. You'll see it straight away. We've got 4 or 5 players that are actually marking nobody. And then you'll have 2 or 3 of the opposition players will just be moving in between those 5 players, finding whatever space they want, taking passes into them and then laying it off somewhere else. And you could see that goal coming a mile away. A couple of players got all the space they want in the world, 5 or 6 Forest defenders marking nobody and just letting them run round us and pass the ball through us. And it's just the way that we mark when we're defending. We try and force sides out onto the wings. But for me, I'm old school, so that doesn't work for me. I'd like to see much more man-to-man marking in defence because, we've got 6 players who have only got to mark 3 opponents most of the time. So it's like, you should be able to put 3 on them 3 men, and then the other 3 can be covering anyone who spins us or puts a pass out somewhere. It just gets me every game.
So people in the chat, like I said, who would you put alongside Murillo? Because we know he's a number 1 centre back choice. So in chat, I'll go through the panel as well. Who would you put next to him? Just like what Felipe got a Bob Delhi. Nick Carty can't get in on the bench. Polly, he's injured.
I thought Nick Carty was injured.
No, he's not injured. He can't even get in the team.
That's even a bigger shock.
I know. Steve, I think he was losing away. He wasn't even injured. He's not even injured. He's played international football for Senegal. So that's why I don't. I'll play him if I'm honest. But well, I don't know.
Well, Felipe can't play the next game, so we know that Felipe will not be able to back up for it.
Who would you put as centre back? Right, David, who would you put as centre back choice?
I would, for this match, if Bolly was available and could get through the minutes, I would pick Bolly.
Okay, Steve-O?
Did someone say Felipe can't play?
No, it's just that he doesn't seem to be able to back up, Steve.
Right. Okay.
So he typically doesn't quite have the energy. But I like Felipe every second or third game. I think I would be continuing to play.
I'm shocked with just what Ben's just said there. I thought Near Carty was injured. I can't believe he's nowhere near the.
He's not on the bench. He's not on the bench. He played for Senegal. He played for Senegal last week.
My problem is with Bolly. I think Bolly will command the high ball. Fulham ain't going to play that. They're going to try and get behind you. So you need a bit of quickness.
So you're on my Babadele.
Yeah, I'm setting it up against the opposition. All right.
Yeah, that's right.
If we were playing against a Luton, no disrespect to Luton, or someone that's going to be bombing it into me box, it's Bolly. But I think if Fulham get behind us and get behind Murillo and we've got Bolly, the last man, we're not getting it.
Yeah,
and that's no disrespect to Bolly. I would play, the young lad, because obviously he's very quick. And I think he's got he's got a lot of potential. But yeah, that's what I'd do. I'd set it up for the opposition at the back. We know they're not going to bombard our box, with high balls.
Bloody hell, I've never agreed with you in my life, and I do agree with him for the first time ever. Playing Omar Bombadilli. So if people click this, I never agree with him before the game. I always disagree with him before the game. So is happy clapper juice for a change. So
you don't want to
it. Mark, who would you do, Mark? At the back.
For me, I don't believe in. I know some people say don't change your winning side and stuff, but I believe for your defence, you need to change it around depending on whether you're at home or away, and depending on who the opposition are. Whether they've got tall forwards, small forwards. So, but probably for Fulham coming up, I'd probably look at something that if Bolly is back, probably Bolly and Murillo, and then use Omar Bombadilli as a substitute if Bolly's struggling a bit for match fitness.
Okay, so people like to chat. Who would you put at the back? I'm looking at the chat as well. Nakate, we need experience at the back. Katie says Bolly prefer, but if not, I'm a Bombadilli. Katie, I like you as well. Are you drinking happy juice as well? Let me see as well. Paul says has to be Bolly when fit as well. Paul, another one. Quite right, Paul. Is there no marking doesn't work? Allows placing shit. Our defensive is too busy marking spaces. A long time since space. Let's score a goal. Right. People
Hey Ben, I was just going to say maybe we need Niakate to play in defence just so that we can make up for the fact that Morgan Gibbs White's corners never do anything, and so by having Niakate's throw-ins, that can negate the impact of the.
I forgot. You know what? I've not even forgot about Niakate's throw-ins, haven't we?
They're so good.
Is someone gone off with Nuno and him then because he was a regular?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's strange. This is why
he got a bit of an injury. Murillo.
People in the chat, right? I don't know if Nuno said anything in the press conference or after the game about Niakate, but I am assuming he's not on the bench. That's what I'm because how many centre backs do we have on the bench? Bombadilli, Montiel, Toffolo.
Yeah, we just said Bombadilli.
As a centre back.
Centre back.
Yeah, talking centre backs. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. Was he injured? I don't know. People in the chat.
If he played for Senegal, that would have been that only would have been on Tuesday. So by the time he's flown back, and he's probably not going to have much training time, it may have just given him a rest for that game. So we'll probably see him at least back on the bench Tuesday night. I would have thought, unless he's injured.
100%. Right, people, please do hit like button if you can, subscribe to DoreOnTour. And like I said, if there's any topics that you wanted to bring up for me in the panel, please do. Right, the topic, like I said, the title of the review show, I said it in Nuno Trust ? And it's still like one win this year. And I said that I've not spoken to people about it. I think I spoke to David loads about it. So people in the chat, what's your opinion on Nuno now? Like, do you still trust him from now to the end of the season going forward? And let me say, get my 3 pence in. I want him to do well. I was a bit frustrated saying, am I allowed to say Nuno out? But digesting it and thinking about it, I want him to do fantastic work for us, and that's going to go out I want. And it's difficult for me to the way we're playing football and we're not winning. So I'm still 50-50 with it. But let me ask you, Stig, I've not spoken to you about it. What's your opinion on Nuno so far?
Well, what's my opinion on Nuno? Guys, I just think I'm a bit like you, but I think I'm 55-45 in his favour. I'm just a little bit over that line, where I'll still give him. I think we've seen some very different setups, negative football. I have to be honest with you. I think it's too late in the season to change.
Yeah.
All right. We don't want to be another Leeds, do we?
And that's what I'm thinking as well. I don't know. I saw someone yesterday. I don't want to be like a Leeds, but didn't they sack someone and then they brought in? I don't know who it was, but
weren't it?
Sam Allardyce. And I don't want to be a Leeds, but
Yeah.
again, I'll mention some kind of end of the show. But sorry, Steve, carry on.
But I think you've got what we got. Is it 8 games left or 7?
8 games to go.
8 games left. Okay, so you've got 8 games left. I'm going to stick my neck out here. I still think we're going to stay up, but I don't think he'll start next year.
Okay. David, has your opinion changed since you come on the show last time?
I was just actually reflecting on which players under Nuno have actually improved and kind of kicked on and who he's built up.
That's my opinion.
So who's actually improved since we've had Nuno around? And I would say Chris Wood has certainly improved.
Chris Wood.
Yeah, that's a good one for the chat. People in the chat get that.
People in the chat. So, who has he improved? Chris Wood's definitely one.
Chris Wood's one. I'm a Bamadele is one.
I'm a Bamadele.
Just because I know that I can say his name, I like
saying
his
name. Dude, I think that's the only person I can say. I still struggle with Chris Wood, but I'm a Bamadele.
I'm a Bamadele. What I think's frustrating, look, it's obvious what's frustrating us with Nuno at the moment is that when he came in, his team selections were perfect, and he put Morgan Gibbs wide into the 10, and he just kind of tinkered with the side, and the corrections and the substitutions that he made were perfect. Yeah. And so therefore we just now have this feeling that he shouldn't make any substitution errors or tactical blunders. And so he did make a tactical blunder playing Elanga through the centre for the 15-minute window. Who knows what the hell he was thinking then, but he did then quickly change it and brought Raina on. And so, he seems to be a little bit gun-shy at the moment or a little bit scared about exactly what he's doing. But I'm just going to revert to Steve's point about, Chris Wood coming good after a season. I think you can't.
11 goals as well.
Yeah, but you just can't. Like, if you'd have asked us last season, you all thought Chris Wood was rubbish, and I said Chris Wood.
Right.
So, Nuno's going to come good. Nuno's going to come good. So we've got to get behind it.
Let me say something about Chris Wood, right? And people, and I've got the receipts as well. I never slagged Chris Wood off. I've got the receipts as well. Look at all the podcasts I've spoken about Chris Wood. I didn't slag him off. I'm not going to look at him. So people think I'm lying. Look back at all my podcasters that we spoke about Chris Wood. People in the chat, did you slag off Chris Wood? I know half of the people in the chat did. I know you did, Steve, didn't you?
I never.
Chris Wood, New Zealand international. What a legend!
I've got receipts. I've got receipts for you, Steve.
You find any receipts that say I slagged Chris Wood off? I said he would come good, and he's a good centre forward. He scored for Burnley. He scored for Newcastle.
Scores for us.
And now you look at him. Woof,
How good was that header? I'll say I've never slagged off Ryan Yates, too.
Right. Let me throw David under the bus and people in the chat. Right, David messaged me last week. Right, and what was he doing? He was going for a run, and he saw another Forest fan saying that he sees David on the show. And what did he say, David? Tell everyone.
He said, "Oh, you're Aussie David on the show. Stop giving Ryan Yates a hard time."
What was his name?
The guy? I don't know. Actually, he never introduced his name.
That is shocking. If you are watching this and you see this guy, please tell him off again. He gives Yates so much hard time. But shout out to the guy that David
He's in the over 35s for North Sydney.
Shout out to the Forest fan that watches this channel. Right. Mark, was you bad tempered about Woody? Did you slag him off?
I've never really slagged him off.
Do I need to get the receipts out?
I was frustrated with the service he was never getting. I always said, we weren't using him to the best of his abilities. I probably did say that I didn't think he was worth the money we paid for him because of the lack of goals at the time. But he's obviously turned that around under Nuno, and I've got no problem with him now. But I'm the same with Taiwo as well. He's
Yeah.
they're both good strikers. But for me, one of the things I did say on stream was for the summer, I'd like to see us sign a top class striker. But we probably didn't have the money to do that. Looking back now, but that's what I would have liked, and I think that was based on because of Taiwo's injury record, and because of Wood's lack of goals at the time. But then Taiwo came good at the end of the season. And kept, one of the reasons why we stopped up, and Wood's been really good cover this season, and yeah, he's got into double figures for the season now, so you can't fault that really, for considering he doesn't play every game and a lot of it's substitute time as well.
Who would you go with now in the current situation? If you know, because Taiwo or Wood, for me, I'm most probably.
People in chat. Yeah, sorry, Steve. Go on.
Most probably, I would say because I think, and this is most probably going to be stupid here, and I'm not drinking any Luna juice. I think Wood is the better option of keeping us up in this league than Taiwo.
Let's do a poll.
I just think Taiwo has just made of glass, and
he's too injured. Taiwo, isn't he?
Yeah,
Steve?
and I think if we got 25-30 million for him with his injury record, I think there you go. I just think Woody, we got to just pray to God that Wood can stay fit for the 8 games because I think he's the better option at the minute. And that's my opinion anyway. Someone will most probably say no, I'm wrong. But
I think Taiwo will be back with a couple of games to go, Steve-O.
Might be too late then.
No, I
don't think it will be, but it might be.
I don't think it's going down to the wire, Steve. Forest will be. It is going to absolutely go down to the wire.
David, it's going to be the last stretch season.
Well,
it
might actually be decided after the season. How nuts will we go if we're relegated and then it becomes a 3-point penalty and then instead of a 4-point penalty, and then we stay up? We will go absolutely berserk.
Right, people in the chat. David, I think he's been saying this a long time. He thinks it's going to end the last game. The last game of the season.
Goal difference. We will stay up by a goal or 2, and I'm predicting it will be a Taiwo goal, Steve. I've been calling it all season. It's going to be super close. But I think back to the question of it's certainly Wood over Taiwo for now. But when both fully fit, it's Taiwo. But Taiwo is way off being fully fit.
It's funny, right? And like I said in the chat, we used to say, why are we playing Chris Wood? He's useless. 15 million down the drain. And now look at us. All of us want Wood to play. It's funny how football is. We're so fickle and all this.
I've got to say about Sangari. Go back 12 months about Wood. This is you see the same sort of things. But unfortunately, Sangari hasn't got that time to just sit in there and get used to it. When you're in the bottom 3, it's a different ball game. You've got to have your players bang hitting it straight off. You know as well as we all know that.
I think I'm just going to start with Wood, bring on Taiwo.
Special's on fire today. Special's on fire today.
It is on fire. And I need a member to my channel as well, people. If you want to be a member, please do. And if any super chats to help my channel, please do. So like I said, Phil says, Woody, we are going to talk about that because it is a massive thing for us. Like I said, at the end of the show, we'll talk about it. Right, so for yesterday's game, see who was your man of the match, people. It was hard to take. So in the chat, who's your man of the match and who was your team's, what was your rating out of 10 as well? Let me start with you, Mark. Who's your man of the match yesterday?
I thought about it long and hard, but I'm still struggling now to really pick one person out.
No one.
No. There was no one who really stood out for me compared to the rest.
No.
I think the only thing I could possibly say is you can't really call it man of the match because of the amount of time he was on, but the influence he had once he came on and lifted the whole place. Raina would be the one I'd have to mention in dispatches, I suppose. But but no one else for me played consistently well all game.
I'll say mine in a minute. What about you, Steve? Who was yours?
I thought there was two that I would have gone for, and we haven't really mentioned them tonight.
Nico.
I thought, Nico Williams for me, right wing.
You know what?
I'll
say something about Nico later.
I thought Aina, when him coming on, I thought he, starting again, he gave us a difference. But I just think Nico, since he's got in, has just been class for me. Wears the heart on his sleeve. That's what we want. He 110% in, runs himself into the ground. I thought he played well yesterday. I'm not going to go into it why, but I thought for me, I walked out and I thought Nico had a real good game. That's my opinion.
David?
From an eye test, Callum Hudson-Odoi was the only person who looked remotely like unlocking them, other than that brilliant moment of Chris Wood. So I didn't mind Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's a bit tough on Chris Wood. It's basically impossible for him to win the man of the match unless he scores a hat-trick because he gets so few chances. I thought, was that header good enough? That moment was enough for him to be.
It was very good.
Was that header good enough for that to just get him the man of the match? And I do agree. I thought Aina was terrific.
No, Chris Wood scored, but he did. I didn't see him as much, but he scored an important goal. He scored an important goal for us. That's what he does. It's like look at you can say about Haaland. Haaland doesn't really touch the ball as much, but he scores the goals. So that I'm not saying Chris Wood Haaland. Chris Wood is our Haaland, but is what it is. But
that's so true. I probably look if I'm sitting in the dressing room and the boys shout around, who was the man of the match? I give the man of the match to Aina. That's who I would.
Okay. The person I'm going to say, I agree with Steve, and again, why am I agreeing with him all the time? It's the second time I agree with this guy. Nico Williams. The reason I say Nico Williams, and I said this on the street, and I spoke to his dad about it, and he said it to told me. When he was at Liverpool, he couldn't play in a back four, and I said to myself, when we went back into the back four Forest, I thought he wouldn't do well, and he's done fantastic for us. And he's my first choice right back. We've got Montiel, we've got Williams, we've got Ali can play there as well. But for me, he's getting better and better. And you know, and then I said he's proved me wrong so much. Williams playing that back four, but he's played great. So for me, Williams as well. With David come Hudson-Odoi as well. I always wanted to stop because he can unlock it. When he gets the ball, you can feel like, and you've got to see it. And I don't know if like Mark or Steve have seen it. He's always getting ganged on by two players.
Yeah,
he's always getting picked on.
Always.
So
sometimes three.
Sometimes three, especially second half. Every time he got the ball, he's always getting ganged on. You got like when Toffolo come on, Toffolo was helping him more coming inside. So again, Hudson-Odoi for me, I'm always a fan of him. But for me, it's got to be Williams. Nico Williams. So yeah, for me it's that. Right, so we're just going for the chat. Paul says Sells. No, you know what? We've not really spoken about, have we? Sells.
But that's what we keep saying. We don't want to be talking about him because the more we talk about him, that means he's having to make saves.
Yes.
One good
the less we talk about him, the better.
Yeah,
he's doing a really good job then.
Yeah, what were you about to say, David?
Well, he had that one good save when there was that through ball on him, and he was out quick enough to shut that down, and he just made himself big and kind of blocked it.
Was that the one against Eze?
Yeah, it was the one against Eze.
Good save. Great save. I think he did one. No, he didn't know. When Eze did one second half, right at the end, just went wide. But yeah, I think he did well to put him off there as well. So we have not spoken much about ourselves, but we might do a video about him as well.
We're not talking about would you play Vlachodimos or Matt Turner or Sells anymore. So I think
Matt Turner. I play Matt Turner. I played Matt Turner. I'm lying, people.
Yeah, let's bring Matt Turner back. I put my Hennessy in. What are you talking about?
Right, people, we've got like 9 minutes to go before the two. Right, so we've got 8 games to go, people. We've got a massive game against Fulham, and then again, every game's got final. So again, I'm asking, please get me right. Can we stay up? Because all the results went our way yesterday, technically. And we can't keep relying on other teams, can we, Steve? But people in the chat, can we stay up? Yes or no? Can Nuno keep us up? Yes or no? So, Steve, can we stay up?
Yeah, we'll stay up. Yeah. I'm not saying can we. We'll stay up.
We'll stay up.
Yeah, that's right. Don't worry about it. Stay up. We'll be a bit nail biting and might have to run to the toilet a couple of times, but we'll scrape over the line and stay up. Trust me. Yeah, we'll stay up.
He's confident.
You
Mark,
gotta be.
we've got to be. We've got to be. Let's be honest. People in the chat, can we stay up? Yes or no? Mark, can we stay up? Yes or no?
I think we'll stay up, yeah. The Luton worry me still because of their team spirit. But I tell you, I think are in real trouble is Everton.
Because I don't know. Steve sent me a thing today, and I don't know if people know. Everton, is it 255 million?
255 million losses, yeah.
Two losses. So there's Everton in the chat as well. Finding the chat. Does that mean is it this year's accounts or next year's accounts?
22-23 up to 22-23.
So can they get another point deduction, or is it still the same one?
I don't understand it, man. I just but the
People in the chat. There's someone clever out there. Steve's not clever for a change.
The Everton fans are saying they're going to get about 6 points and they should liquidate and this, that, and the other. So I don't know what's going off. So I don't understand it.
People, Everton. So I don't understand what's going on, but it seems like they're in deep trouble as well.
I thought their points deduction, they could have a second points deduction this season, Ben.
This week.
This week.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah, probably the end of this week coming, they might announce something. If it's anything, if the length of time it took after our hearing was finished is anything to go by. But you see, Everton in free fall. They've not won a league game since mid-December.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Apparently, Mark, am I right in saying this? And someone quote me, or not quote me, but well, you get 3 points for breach in any way.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
right? You get 3 points.
That's
for
right.
deduction. So they're getting 3 points irrelevant. Yes.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stories going about. Some people are saying that they could get hit even harder because it's a second defence, if you like, and that might be viewed as even worse. And then a lot of other people saying, well, it might not be viewed as a serious breach because they've been deducted points for 2 out of the 3 years they're being looked at for already. So, it could go either way. I mean,
I don't.
But
think
yeah, in theory, they should get a minimum of 3 points. Like I say, they're in free fall. They've not won since mid-December.
And as well, in 13 games, 5 draws, 7 defeats as well. So, and we've got them as well on Sunday. So that game is going to be every game's a tough game. But
Ben, we've got them on the 21st, mate, not on Sunday, because you'll be sending 3,000 fans to Everton when they should be going Spurs.
No, it's been moved to Sunday, hasn't it?
It's been moved to Sunday.
Not this Sunday. You said
No, not this Sunday. Not this Sunday, you see. He's a Belen. He's going back to Belen mode. So,
no, he did say
Steve,
I heard him.
You shouldn't have corrected him because then we would have all logged in our YouTube and there's Ben. Here I am on my way to Liverpool, guys. Here I am. And he should be going down to London. That would have been how good would that video have been? And Ben goes and does it and go watch Everton versus bloody Fulham or something.
let me say so. Shout out to Gordon as well. We've won F4 as well. And that is true. We've not
love Gordon.
Gordon. And that's
like Gordon.
Yeah. I like Gordon as well. Yeah, Gordon, you are right. We won one game this year. And that was against the West Ham team, who are on the top. They lost the other day, but I believe. Right?
Do you think other teams want to play us, Ben? Are they looking at us saying, "Yeah,
we're
getting Forest"?
I think Fulham, because Fulham drawn 3-3 with Sheffield United the other day. I think they'd be confident. But do you remember last season?
I think they know we've got a run in us, Ben, and we can explode at any time. I wouldn't want to play.
Right, guess what? In the chat, before we do go, I'm going to go through the panel. If Forest lose to Fulham, I don't want to lose. Are we in trouble, Mark?
Yeah, not off.
Do you think Nuno's in trouble? Do you think Nuno's in trouble?
Yeah.
No, because I think Nuno is going to be given till the end of the season, regardless. Like Steve said earlier, it's too late in the season to change. And I think, with Nuno, there's a couple of things. The positive is he's got us playing a little bit more attacking football. So even though the points aren't rolling in, we do look a little bit more like scoring. The downside for me, some of the substitutions he makes, I'm a little lost with. And I think the mitigating circumstances is going to be the fact that he's come in and it's not really his squad. He's not had any involvement in forming that squad or having a say on any players that signed or anything. So I think they will give him to the end of the season. And if we do go down, then that's probably when they'll look at getting rid of him.
What about you, David?
They'll probably be looking round already, for who might take over if he does go
next season. What about you, David? If we lose
to Fulham, it'll be a major blow. I don't think we're necessarily down because of that. Because the matches later, we can beat Wolves, we can beat Everton. God, we can beat Man City at home. Like,
I think the big games for me, those three away against
It's even on the juice.
Everton, Sheffield United, and Burnley.
They're the big
ones.
We've got a bunch of winnable games. I think it's going to be one of the lowest points needed to stay up ever. And I think, Fulham's not the be all and end all. It's going to be the Everton match, and
that's the big one for me. We owe them one after the beatings at our
okay,
place.
let's get everyone's score predictions as well. So, David, what's score prediction for Fulham Forest? Fulham.
It'll be 1-1 draw.
Steve.
Well, Fulham are going to score because we can't keep clean sheets. All right. But I do think, I don't know why, I think 2-1 Forest. I've just got this feeling Forest going to win on I never said Sunday then, Tuesday. I just want to say one thing quickly, David. If Forest beat Man City, I'm coming back on this show and I'm going to sing a song, all right, for you. All right? Because
what song?
I don't know yet. I've got.
Are you taking requests?
What songs does Steven sing? What songs does Steven sing?
What song does Steve sing to David if Forest beat Man City?
And if you want to be watching this show, if you be watching this in the comment section, what songs does Steve sing to David? No, wait. To make it even better, because David's coming to the Burnley and Chelsea game. Steven's in person. Steven's going to sing on my vlog in front of you kids.
Okay, but that's if Forest beat Man City. I'm not saying we're going to lose.
Yes. People in the chat, click this. I'm clipping this. I'm clipping this. I'm praying to God Forest win 1-0 or something like that. It's not going to happen, I know. But yeah.
No, it'll be 2-1.
Oh,
okay.
This is getting better. I'll do a double. I'll do 2 songs. I'll do 2 songs.
Mark, what's your score? What was your score, Mark?
What, for Fulham?
Yeah.
Not
4-0. Not 4-0. Please don't say 4-0.
Yeah, go 6.
If he starts Elanga and/or Raina, I'll go 2-1 for Forest.
I'll take that.
If not either of them, we might get a 0-0 draw or 1-1.
I'll take that.
The problem is, Ben, we come on this show and we come on all sad and gloomy and thinking that Forest are going to get relegated and hopeless. And I don't know about you guys, but then by the end of the show, I'm making predictions that we'll beat Man City 2-1. That's the transformation.
Phil says living on a prayer, Bon Jovi. Is that all right?
Yeah, I like Bon Jovi.
I think we stand a chance against
Phil, we're halfway there, baby.
We're halfway there.
Getting something against Man City because Haaland's not scoring now. He's dried up.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark,
right, so
thinking?
Right, so people in the chat, if Forest beat Man City, Stephen's going to sing for us. Let's have them back to church. I've been going to church recently with my daughter, so I am going to church to pray if Forest can beat us. Right, it's been a great show.
There you go. Gordon's coming through with a suggestion. It should be Timey Kangaroo Down Sport.
Gordon, legend. Absolute legend, Gordon. Right, it's been a great show, people. Like I said, we didn't lose. We're at the bottom three because all the results went our way. So that's a positive. But we've got Fulham next. Tomorrow, I've got another show, 9 o'clock, with my guy, Alan, Fulham fan. We'll be on the show to talk about Fulham season so far. So watch out for that. Any questions that you do want to ask him, just please come on as well. Me, Mark, and Steve will be there Tuesday. What did I say Saturday for? Tuesday to watch Steve Forest beat Fulham. And I've asked stupid predictions from Stephen as well, because he always gets stuff results right all the time. So, but yeah, I look forward to that. But yeah, we're at the bottom three. That's a positive thing. Hopefully, everything get a point deduction. That'd be great. But yeah, it's been a great show. And if you are rewatching this, people, please in the comment section, if you disagreed with Stephen, everything that he said, just say something. If you agree with Mark and David, please write as well. If you agree with me, as always, please do. Please hit the like button before you do leave. Subscribe if you're new, and if you do want to do any super chats regarding this review show, please do. I'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock with a Fulham preview. Should be fun with my guy Alan. Peace and love, people. And we're not
Come
in
on,
the
you
bottom
Reds.
three. But you Reds. Come on, you Reds.